Or yeah, this is good afternoon. It's hard to believe that the Girl Scouts that many of us grew up with is now celebrating its 100th anniversary this year, which is a pretty amazing kind of thing. And we approached Rose González Pérez, the CEO of the Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas, because we realize that entrepreneurship starts early. Entrepreneurship and the life skills that that brings starts with Brownies and the Girl Scouts in many homes. And we wanted to go ahead and encourage that discussion here today. We also wanted to go ahead and find out some more about some other programs that they have beyond the ones that we readily recognize. But I do want to go ahead and introduce our speaker first, Rose González Pérez, who's the new Chief Executive Officer over at Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas. It is the 12th Chief Executive Officer for this local organization. A Girl Scout alumni, Pérez has always wanted to be an example to her family, for her family and her community, and after pursuing degrees in education, she wanted to do more than just teach in one classroom and wanted to make a larger impact for children. Now, for more than 20 years, she has worked with a variety of leadership roles within the Girl Scout organization in San Antonio and Dallas, and as an expert in membership services, program delivery, fund development, community relations, and administration. And the interesting thing about her story is that she actually comes from an entrepreneurial background herself. In fact, as a former Girl Scout Brownie in her rural home in Mathis, Texas, she learned firsthand how positive role models and life experiences impact your future. She became an entrepreneur at an early age while shadowing her mother and her father, who owned their own businesses. Her mother owned a clothing store, while her father operated an air conditioning business, and while finding time to volunteer in their community as well. She's also a former business owner from Mathis, and now prepares girls to have courage, confidence, character, and to make the world a better place, and was recently recognized as the 2012 City of Mathis Outstanding Citizen. Please welcome Rose González Pérez.
Thank you so much. It is quite an honor to be here with you and to have our girls with us today. I am very excited that we have 4 of our top cookie sellers, and they'll be introduced in just a little while, and you're going to hear from them both at the podium and on the stage. But first, I'd like to say thank you for being the top female leaders in our city and our community. You are the cream of the crop, and it's very impressive to be here with you today. I'd also like to say that it is an honor to have been selected as the 12th CEO for Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas on April 12, 2012, as we celebrate the 100th anniversary for Girl Scouts on March the 12th. Lots of 12s there. This is lucky. I've won the lottery, and this is the best job I could ever ask for in the world. I'd like to recognize some of our Girl Scout board members who are with us today and past board members. You heard from her just a few minutes ago, but an outstanding leader in our community and a past board chair, Suzanne Peterson, please rise to be recognized again. We also have our chair-elect, so the future chair of our board is among us and a member of NAWBO. Please say hello to Jen King. A current board member who just arrived from Africa and is with us today, Lisa Uribe, is a member of our board of directors. And having served to recruit these phenomenal women and men that serve on our board, a past board development committee member, Linda Elliott. Thank you for bringing these wonderful people to Girl Scouts. Now, is there anyone else here who has been on our board before and I just don't recognize you? We've got some great people here. Well, thank you to NAWBO for inviting me to be here and for your excellent follow-up. Hannah and I were able to attend the last luncheon when the mayor and the city manager spoke and said, invite us, we'd love to come back and speak. And we received a phone call immediately, so thank you for including us. Well, I would love to say that I was one of the top cookie sellers, but I wasn't. But I learned a lot in Girl Scouts. Once a Girl Scout brownie in Mathis, and a very proud Girl Scout member now, I can tell you that these positive role models shaped who I am today. And of course, coming from an entrepreneur family with my mother and father both owning their businesses. Now you may think, wow, you grew up in a family that had their own businesses. Y'all had it made. My mother had a 5th grade education and began working at her clothing store at the age of 15 by dusting and cleaning and working her way from the back to the front and changing the mannequins, cleaning the windows, and then eventually becoming the owner after working there since the age of 15. I did not know this, but my mother was learning how to read and write and do math alongside me when my father was teaching me. So I'm very proud of the things that my mother did and owned her business for over 30 years. My father, who also worked during the day civil service, ran his air conditioning business in the evenings, and I was the person who answered the phone. So I worked customer service with my mother and my father growing up in Mathis. My brother now owns my father's air conditioning business, and my parents not only made us work with them, but we had other jobs as well. My first business was at the age of 7, and it was my favorite. I ran a fortune-telling tent in my front yard, and my friend Julie had the Kool-Aid stand that was outside, so she was selling Kool-Aid as people were waiting in line for me to tell them their fortunes. What a deal that we have going on. At the age of 12, I started my own ironing business, ironing clothes. There was no dry cleaner anywhere nearby, and there were a lot of blue-collar workers in my community that needed their uniforms pressed. So I charged 10 cents for shirts and 25 cents for blue jeans.
Are you still in business?
Yeah. You know, I love to iron, and so do my boys. And that's when heavy starch was really popular, and so that was really hard work. My grandmother kept telling me to use just sprinkles of water, but I loved using that heavy starch. And I added $1 if I embroidered your initials on your work shirt, because I learned embroidery from my Girl Scout troop. And at the age of 15, I decided I could learn how to cut hair, so I had my own hair cutting business in my home. Usually didn't make a lot of money because I would exchange my services for the most popular hard rock or heavy metal rock band that was going on that day. And I'm a big fan of the Bee Gees and was the president of the Andy Gibb fan club. When I turned 21, my father said, you need to continue to learn how to appreciate hard work. So he bought a 2-ton gravel truck, and I drove that gravel truck and delivered gravel early in sunrise hours. Because my father always believed you needed to learn how to work as hard as a man and learn how to do things men did, and women needed to exchange assignments at home. So instead of women washing dishes in my house, it was the men, and the girls would take out the trash. So I always appreciate my parents teaching me that. In my 30s, my mother passed away from breast cancer, and after losing her battle to cancer, I ran her business for a couple of years in Mathis as a young mother with 2 young children, and was very proud of being able to keep her business open for a while. I am now the strong leader of over 7,000 volunteers and 72 staff who prepare over 23,000 girls to have courage, competence, and character, and they're already making the world a better place. Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas is the fastest growing Girl Scout council in the nation. We are very proud of a lot of firsts, a lot of great things that we have going on. As you know, our current national CEO for Girl Scouts of the USA is Ana Maria Chavez, who was the CEO here for the last 2 years. So people jokingly said to me, oh my gosh, you've got big shoes to fill. We wear the same size, and we have borrowed each other's shoes quite often. So I'm happy to say my good friend and I stay in touch, and it's exciting to have her in the leadership role. The CEO who just retired from Girl Scouts of the USA also came from San Antonio, Kathy Cloninger, who was the CEO here in the 1990s. So if you don't think our phone rings every day off the wall, our email is crazy busy, saying you have the best leaders in town. Not only are we preparing our girls to be leaders, but our volunteers and our staff are leaders everywhere they go in our community. So we're really proud of that. Our board is outstanding and leads every day in their community. Some exciting things we have going on. If you haven't seen the green bus already, our Girl Scout Mobile Leadership Center travels to 21 counties to provide Girl Scout services, and it's got a shop, a library, 2 flat-screen TVs, 24 laptops, and it's endless. So it's an office traveling on wheels to provide services to the counties outside of Bexar County. We are very proud partners with 5 companies, and we have business patches for girls to prepare for their future careers and learn from everything from Wells Fargo Financial Management, HEB Healthy Living, CPS Environmental Awareness, and the list goes on of all the partners that are our partners currently. But one of our favorites is Valero STEM, because we can't get enough with science, technology, engineering, and math, and Rackspace with technology. They're all very popular patches, and I want to say to Wells Fargo, thank you for the partnership, because who does not need to know how to handle and manage their money? Thank you so much. We're also proud of our Gamma Sigma Girl program. That's our sorority college-bound program for girls in high school. We're at all the high schools in San Antonio ISD, Edgewood, and Harlandale. And we have over 600 girls that are participating, college-bound, advocacy, and also doing community service projects. You've hopefully heard we're about to open our Westside Girl Scout Leadership Center in Coronado Escobar Elementary School in Edgewood Independent School District. Our doors will be opening in September, and we'll be having about 20 staff members working out of that facility to provide programs to our western counties, not just Bexar County alone. Now, we've increased membership, volunteer, and program services to keep up with the speed of girls, and that speed is just blinking in front of us every time we look. And as we look at celebrating our 100th anniversary, I want to share with you today's Girl Scout story and how we're preparing every day to have girls emerge into their entrepreneur roles. Now, to commemorate our 100th anniversary, we've declared 2012 the Year of the Girl, and we've launched a campaign called To Get Her There. And if you look closely at the words To Get Her There, it is also saying together. This is the largest and boldest cause campaign with a goal to create gender-balanced leadership in one generation. Now, Girl Scouts are bringing national attention to the issue of girls' leadership. 61% of girls are either deeply ambivalent about leadership, or they say leadership is not important to them at all. Not the girls here today. Now, why are girls opting out of leadership roles? Today's girls are often challenged by negative influences around them, and that includes peer pressure to not stand out, a lack of mentors, and bullying. There is so much bullying going on. This cycle that begins in grade school goes on to have far-reaching effects in society, because with women underrepresented in so many sectors, we want to do something about it. We don't have enough women in government or in academia. We don't have enough women in finance or technology or in nonprofits and entertainment. Now consider this. According to the 2010 National Leadership Index, an annual survey by Harvard's Kennedy School of Government and the U.S. News and World Report said nearly 2/3 of Americans think our community is suffering from a leadership crisis. Actually, our country is suffering from a leadership crisis. We can do better for our girls and for ourselves. You're already doing it for yourselves. Help us do it for more girls. Not only is Girl Scouts the right place to launch this initiative, it's the right place for girls today. Studies from our Girl Scout Research Institute, and yes, we have a research institute at our national office in New York, led by psychologists and people who study girls' issues in our country. The Institute revealed that girls approach leadership different from boys. And I have 2 boys, and they tell me all the time we do it different. And they also tell me we do it better. Now, only 1 girl in 5 believes that she has what it takes to lead the way for others. Only 1 in 5. Simple things can be barriers. For example, 41% of girls are uncomfortable speaking to a group, and again, not the girls that are with us today, but I can remember sitting in the back of my Brownie Girl Scout meeting and my troop leader, Miss McFall, saying, "Rose, I want you to check row and call out the names, and I need to hear you in the back of my garage." If it had not been for Miss McFall pushing me and getting me in front of my Girl Scout group where I felt comfortable, I would not have become the speaker that I did throughout my school years and growing up. And now they tell me I'm too loud. Can I turn the microphone on? 39% of girls have been put down by their peers. or perceived as bossy when they try to lead. Now, how many of you have been called bossy when you're leading your company or your workplace? Instead of encouraging each other, they're calling you names. We need to keep encouraging each other because we want you to lead. The research shows that girls excel at collaborative style of leadership, and that many Americans say this is missing in government. So why do women represent just 3% of CEOs in Fortune 500 companies, and only 17% of Congress? That is too few. Now imagine this. What if, by helping girls fulfill their potential, by bridging the leadership divide and balancing our leadership culture, we could restore America's faith in leadership itself? We don't want the boys to go away or the men. Believe me, I'm preparing my boys to be great leaders as well. We just want them to make room at the leadership table. We want balanced leadership with girls and boys so that one day men and women are making collaborative decisions together. Now, this is urgent, and it's an ambitious goal to create balanced leadership in one generation, and no one is better positioned or qualified than Girl Scouts. We have so many Girl Scout greats. As we celebrate our 100th anniversary, and we're going to continue through March of 2013, it would not be complete without engaging, listen to this, 59 million alum who have fond memories of their time with Girl Scouts, who attribute their experience to helping them become the leaders they are today. You know them. You're probably one of them. You're neighbors with one of them. You're in business with one of them. Or you are the one who has become that entrepreneur. Girl Scout greats are former Girl Scouts who have achieved success in their area of expertise, and they advocate for women. They advocate for our mission to build girls of courage, confidence, and character. Now, we selected 10 outstanding women who represent diversity of our alum, and they're leaders in business, government, science, technology, medicine, education, and arts. They're photographed over here on this banner on the side. Now, those 10 women represent another 10 women and another 100, and the list goes on because there's so many great ones. Some of them you may have seen some of them in the March-April edition of the San Antonio Woman magazine. Some of them are Carrie Baker Wells, Jolynn LeBlanc Burley, the Honorable Leticia Vandeputte, Lisa Sanchez Wong, Cheryl Scully, Suzanne Wade, and Janie Martinez González. Now get ready for this. If you were a part of Girl Scouts, you're a part of 59 alum strong, and that represents 1 out of every 2 women in the nation that say they were a Brownie, a Girl Scout, or a volunteer. 1 out of every 2. And Girl Scouting is proving that it is making a difference. It did for a friend of mine who I recently met, named Sunita Trevino, an immigrant from India, who shared with me when she first arrived in Buffalo, New York, at the age of 6, while the children made fun of her clothes and her Indian accent, and even teased her, not realizing that her country of India was not the same as the American Indians, that they would do a rain dance around her, and that they would make fun of her. That it wasn't until she joined her Girl Scout troop that she felt welcome, accepted, and felt normal. Sunita told me that her Girl Scout leader helped her learn how to dress and excel in so many areas. Her troop leader even picked her up to go to her troop meetings, paid for her membership and her Girl Scout activities. Sunita became very confident and courageous because of her Girl Scout Brownie experiences. And she attributes all of these great things that she did in Girl Scouting to the success she's become today. Zunita Trevino is a beautiful, successful businesswoman, and she's here today. I'd like you to meet her if you haven't already. She became a member of NAWBO today. This is a Girl Scout story come true. Another recent story that happened to me, I was going down, leaving a luncheon, and this woman yelled and said, "Girl Scout, stop! Girl Scout, stop!" And so I knew it was me because there weren't girls there, and so I turned, and she says, "I just want to tell you I'm a very prestigious and popular lawyer in town." I'm not going to tell you her name. And people think I have all this courage, and I sometimes don't. When I need courage, I go into my walk-in closet. that's a good place to get courage. And I have a special place in my closet where my Girl Scout uniform hangs with my sash. And I look at that sash and I remember all of these skills that I have. And that gives me courage, and I pretend I have that sash on when I walk into a courtroom, and it reminds me of all the things I know and all the things I've learned and how powerful I can be because of my Girl Scout experience. So if you've got a sash or you've got a uniform and you need that courage, find a place in your closet, because that's a very powerful story from a woman that is doing really important things in the courtroom today. Another great Girl Scout story. Now, I know if you were a Girl Scout, you have a story like this in your heart behind your Girl Scout sash. And we need your help to create gender-balanced leadership, because we can't do it alone. All of us play a role in helping our girls succeed and becoming that powerful woman sitting in that chair, whether she's going to be a leader in her home, in her house, her schoolhouse, or if she wants to one day be the leader in the White House. I'd like to acknowledge those of you who were either a Girl Scout Brownie. Please stand. If you were a Girl Scout, or if you have ever been a volunteer for the Girl Scout organization, please stand to be recognized. You are a Girl Scout great, and the to get her there part, you're already there. You got there. I got there. Help us to get girls there through our To Get Her There cause campaign. Now, there's so many other great things going on in our organization. I want to share with you one of the most popular things that we are so famous for. Everybody knows us for these 3 C's: cookies, camping, and crafts. And those are great C's. But we want you to know us for courage, competence, and character. So add those 3 C's to the list. I'd like to talk to you about a major economic development program that we've had going on for a long, long time. And I'd like to invite Hannah Richmond to come up here and tell you a little bit more about our spectacular Girl Scout cookie program. Hannah, please join me.
Hello. People say it's just a cookie. What can a cookie do? The Girl Scout Cookie Program is the most recognized activity for our members, and as the largest girl-led business in the country, generates more than $750 million for girls and community nationwide. So a Girl Scout cookie can do a lot, right? It could help send a city kid to camp. It could help pay for a fresh change of clothes to an abuse victim, rush to a shelter. It could cheer for a soldier from far from home. Because when you buy Girl Scout cookies, the girl decides where the proceeds go. Through Girl Scouting, girls become leaders in their daily lives and prepare for their bright futures. The Girl Scout Cookie Program provides an important ingredient for leadership by helping the girls develop 5 essential skills: goal setting, decision-making, money management, people skills, and business ethics. Girls will likely demonstrate these skills immediately and build them on to the far future. Now I'd like to invite Mariah to the stand.
How so? Because Girl Scouts set cookie sales, goals, and develops a plan to reach them. She won't tell you on Sunday night that her science fair project is due tomorrow. Or when the time comes, she'll be ready to create a plan for researching colleges and applying for scholarships. Because Girl Scouts helps decide how cookie proceeds are used, she can decide how to use her babysitting money, spend some, save some, or give some to those in need. As she grows up, she'll know when and how to give back to her community. Because Girl Scouts take cookie orders and handle their customers' money, she'll be less likely to lose her lunch money or field trip fees. Because Girl Scouts learn how to talk and listen to all kinds of people while selling cookies, she can work well with others on school projects or as a part of a sports team. As she becomes a young woman, she'll be able to influence others in her work and her community. Because Girl Scouts are honest and responsible at every step of the cookie program, Her friends, classmates, and teachers count on her and think of her as trustworthy. And now for Alyssa.
Hi. A Girl Scout cookie could help buy school supplies for needy kids or fly a troop of girls from San Antonio to Washington, D.C. Some of these girls will be inspired by their visit and will return to Washington as congresswomen or senators. It's not far-fetched to imagine that the nation's first female president will reminisce about the time she visited Washington, D.C. and stood inside the Lincoln Memorial with her Girl Scout troop. Girl Scout cookies can help bring out the confidence in a girl. It's no easy thing to ask a stranger to buy something. You have to speak up, look them in the eye, and believe what you're doing. Girl Scout cookies can help girls believe in themselves. No university has produced as many female business owners as has the Girl Scout cookie program.
The girls are now going to go on stage. And we'll introduce them in just a moment. Now, many of today's successful businesswomen credit their professional accomplishments to their early start selling Girl Scout cookies. How many of you sew cookies? Raise your hand if you, oh my gosh, more than half the room. I hope you noticed more than half the room stood up when we asked if you were Girl Scouts too. Today's Girl Scouts follow in their footsteps. And through participation in the Girl Scout cookie program, they learn how to be members of a team, they work toward a common goal, they interact with customers in a professional manner, and they follow through on a commitment and strive to do their best. With every season of Girl Scout cookies, another generation of girls learns these valuable skills. As women, they need these skills whether their goal is to start a business or a family. So girls, now we're going to introduce each of you. You're going to introduce yourselves. And I have a couple of questions for you, and then the audience is going to have a couple of questions for you. Are we ready? I'm going to trade microphones, so you have this one. And each girl is going to introduce herself and tell you a little bit about herself. And we're going to start right here with Alyssa.
Hello, my name is Alyssa Owens. I'm 10 years old. I'm a junior in Girl Scouts. This is gonna be my 6th year doing Girl Scouts. And my favorite cookie is the Samoa. And
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a dental surgeon.
And tell everybody how many boxes of cookies you sold, Alyssa.
This year I sold 1,000 boxes of cookies.
Congratulations. Next, I'm going to ask you to tell everyone, what is your name?
Raven,
Raven, how old are you?
7.
And what age level of program in the Girl Scouts are you in?
I am a Daisy Girl Scout.
And how long have you been a Daisy, Raven?
2 years.
Tell everyone, what's your favorite cookie?
Samoas.
Was your favorite cookie? Was it a different one yesterday? Because it can change every day. Mine changes sometimes.
Thin Mints.
Okay, that's what I thought. I heard that. Thought you wanted to say Thin Mints. And what do you want to be when you grow up, Raven?
Babysitter.
A babysitter. That's a very important job, taking care of other people's children. And it pays really well. Tell me the total number of boxes you sold this year.
3,000.
3,000 boxes. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mariah Bartlett. I'm 15 years old. I'm a Girl Scout senior, and I've been a Girl Scout for 8 years. My favorite type of cookie is the Samoa. And I want to be a physical therapist whenever I grow up. And I sold 3,646 boxes.
Wow. Thank you, Mariah. Very nicely done.
Technical difficulties.
Hannah, would you please like to introduce yourself? And I'll bring you this microphone over here. Because Girl Scouts are nimble and flexible.
Hello, everybody. I know some of y'all here today, but my name is Hannah Richmond. I'm 15. I'm a Girl Scout senior. My favorite cookie would probably be tagalongs. You can't go wrong with chocolate and peanut butter. And when I grow up, I would like to be the CEO of a nonprofit organization or own my own business.
Hannah, would you please tell everyone the total number of boxes of cookies you sold last year, and then how many you sold this year?
Last year, I was the top cookie seller in Southwest Texas, and I sold 3,258 boxes. And this year, I was the top cookie entrepreneur officer again, and I sold a total of 6,600 boxes.
Thank you, Hannah. So together, all of these girls sold 14,246 boxes. Congratulations, girls. I know we have a fun sleepover at SeaWorld as one of the fun incentives in August for being top cookie sellers. We're going to sleep with the penguins, I believe. We're having an overnight sleepover with the penguins. But I have a couple of questions for you. I want you to tell me, what skill have you learned by selling Girl Scout cookies? Alyssa, we'll start with you. What skill have you learned?
I learned how to not be shy around people that I'm talking to. Like, instead of just going, I go, hi, would you like to order some Girl Scout cookies?
Thank you, Alyssa. Raven, what skill have you learned by selling cookies? Actually, I have a better question for you. What is the best thing to say to your customers when they buy your cookies?